What is going on, people? What is going on? By now, you already know who I am. So, in this video, we're going to be talking about the Matrix. hmm So, let's just get into it. Let's not make the video too long. Um, Everybody's seen the movies, everybody knows what happens in the Matrix. Everybody knows about Neo, the guy who gets up and sees the Matrix for what it is. And then everybody else who's still in the Matrix. And then you have the agents of the Matrix, like Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson and his agents make sure people like Neo don't come privy to the Matrix. So the Matrix creates, that's right, agents to protect its Matrix. So once you see that Neo gets up, sees the Matrix for what it is, because he's offered the blue and the red pill. Now, it is significant because blue and red is a consistent theme in our life. Blue and red, we have like the light and the dark side from Star Wars. And then we have politics. Blue, red, opposing sides. The blue and the red pill. Everything's blue and red. The flag, the American flag. Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. So now that we know the colors, right? Red, blue. Okay? We know what's going on because they're telling us two colors, two opposing sides. All right? So Mr. Anderson now knows that Neo is up. He sees the Matrix. And I'm just going to go ahead and just say what it is because I keep saying the Matrix, but I'll say what it is. So the Matrix is is very simple. This is me and you, a human. A human is part of the Matrix. Yes, we are. And you can look it up in Latin terms. If you look up the word matrix in Latin, do it. It's going to tell you it's the woman's womb. People are born from the woman's womb. We are born from the mother, from the woman's womb, the matrix, in Latin terms. That's where the word comes from. Well, do you guys know a lot of words come from Latin? All right, so we got that. Wow, we figured it out. Matrix actually means mother's womb in Latin. People are born from their mother's womb. Animals are born from their mother's womb, right? An egg, they hatch, but they were, usually you're born from your mother if you're part of the Matrix. Now, what they figured out is, and by days, I mean us humans who figured out the Matrix, right? They figured out that, okay, you could be born from a woman, but you can create things that are born into this world without the Matrix. You see what I did there? So the humans who are here playing a different game, doing different things than the average Joe, what they're doing is they're actually creating artificial intelligence, mechanics, things that don't come from our mothers. Okay? And this is important. Why? I'm gonna tell you the importance of this. The importance of this is because when you look at natural life, like just plain natural life, we're all equal. Like there's no one head and shoulders, you know. It's the human psychology that wants to put someone else below them, and then just so they can put themselves in a higher position. But if you study the animal kingdom, all lions and, you know, they don't all oppress each other, and they don't all build these social statuses like humans do. Humans build these social statuses so they can basically keep other people down on the social status. So they gain higher social statuses. They create AI intelligence. They create like these things that are mechanical, and then they bring them into our natural world, right? And then people who are like us, regular Joes, people who are just chill, just doing day to days, we're not worried about creating machines and doing all this kind of stuff. We're just like, all right, whatever, I want to get some sleep. But what happens is these other folks, they're not like that. They're just like, no, I'm gonna create a machine, and then I'm gonna get these humans. Look, you probably heard that before. Look how they're even talking about us now. Just hear those words. You probably haven't heard that before. Humans. Like, just hear how they talk about the masses. Like we're just, you know, the humans and the others. And, so the Matrix is people who built systems and machines like politics, like banking, like war, like everything that you can basically man made as a creation is outside of the matrix. Therefore, it's kind of controlling the matrix because it's operating outside of it. So, especially when we give it all these laws and things, these regulations that give these things that are not natural more power, right? So now you got people, regular Joes like me and you, born from something real, but now you got an entity, they call it, right? You could look it up, an entity, and you look it up, it's a building. How could a building be an entity? How could a corporation be an entity? It's just not possible. But that's what they call it. They say it in their own words. So this message is not for, maybe not for today, maybe not for tomorrow. This message is for a person that can pick up a signal years from now and be like, okay, whoa, because life is going to look totally different than it is right now. In the future, it's going to be more AI, it's going to be more machine learning, it's going to be more entities, right? And then you have the humans, right? Us. So then you're going to start to see, and then think about the media, just the media propaganda, right? This is what we'll call it. We'll just call it what it is, media propaganda. You go to the movie theaters, you go to these things, you turn on the movies, you turn on your shows, and they all show you the same cinematic script. Robots, future, okay? So basically, we're all being programmed. We are, you know, whether we want to admit it or not, it's happening, you know. So I have to speak and I have to let it be known, because if not, what's going to happen is people will continue to be programmed. People will not see the matrix for what it is. People will continue to give their power to these entities and the system, when in reality, they created all that to take power away from us. And they have. They have. So just don't even, just look at the infrastructure of the world as it is and look at where it's going. Okay? People are being powered for the corporations. Like, you're literally being pushed out there to work a corporation or do something to push an entity or da, 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 da. So you either have to kind of get with those other guys who are doing the same thing, right? Building the machines, building the the infrastructure for the humans. That's what it is. That's the matrix. So once you take the blue or the red pill, okay, and you take the red one gives you truth. And you could use Drake's lyrics too. These are just listen to these words. Drake's lyrics, okay? 6 man, all right? I'll rap 6 man. Booming out the blue wheel. 6 men like blue wheel. Hey, Salem. Booming out like blue wheel. I'm in the matrix and I just took the blue pill.